counter all the wide shots off of Cooper, and then pressure in the late rounds if it goes that far, and try to knock him out.
And the purposeful #1 WBO heavyweight contender, Michael Moore, head down, making his way through Taj Mahal Mark Edis Arena towards the ring. 24 years old, born in Brooklyn, raised in Monessen, Pennsylvania. That's where he's facing that assault charge against the policeman. The trial will be held next July, but for now, the business at hand, Michael Moore for the WBO Heavyweight Championship. His spotless 28-0 record, 26 by knockout, and he's the master of the short fights. Of his 28 encounters, 21 have gone 4 rounds or less. He, as you see, the former WBO light heavyweight champ. He defended it successfully 9 times. 6-0 now as a heavyweight. And keep in mind, he's a southpaw. But Bert Cooper fought Joe Hipp, another southpaw, in our last TBKO fight where we saw Cooper. Our tail of the tape tonight, Cooper 2 years older, 3.5 inches shorter, 7.5 pounds heavier. A lot of talk about the shape that Cooper's in, and Moore with the 5-inch reach advantage. And let's check out some CompuBox statistics going into this one.
All right, this is a 3-fight average for Moore and Cooper, of course. This is punches per round, 52 to 41. And you see the big edge in punches landed and thrown here for Moore with a tremendous connect percentage. If he lands 62% of his punches against Bert Cooper, this could be a short fight.
And the jabs per round, this is a 3-fight average.
All right,
with
again.
Moore throwing and landing. A look at Cooper, just 2.
That's right.
Per
Well,
round.
he's the type of guy who bobs and weaves his way into a man. He's not a guy that uses a big jab, but looping hard punches. And you can see why. There's Moore with quite more jabs thrown and landed.
And our WBO rules, similar. 10-point must system, no standing 8 count. 3 knockdown rule, yes. Saved by the bell, you can be saved by the bell in the last round, unlike our earlier fights, and only the referee here can stop the fight. So we're ready to go. Let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, main events, Rick Parker Productions TBKO and the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This contest is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner. Representing the World Boxing Organization as supervisor at ringside, Alberto Aleman. Physicians in attendance, Dr. Charles Wilson, Dr. Earl Shaw, and Dr. Eric Wormser. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Tony Perez, and the timekeeper is Roosevelt Gilbert. The scoring for this bout will be done by 3 judges using the 10-point must system. They are Cesar Ramos, Gerald Maltz, and John Stewart. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of all the action, referee Joe O'Neill. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Donald J. Trump's Trump Taj Mahal here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO World Heavyweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the Kronk Gold colors, and weighing in at 217 pounds, he's from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. He brings a professional record of 28-0, 26 knockouts to his credit. He's the former WBO light heavyweight champion and ranked #1 in the world in the heavyweight division by the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Moore. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, his opponent wearing the black trunks with silver trim. He weighs 224 1/4 pounds. From Westchester, Pennsylvania, his professional record, 27-8, and 24 of his 27 victories are by KO. And last November, he proved that the smoke is no joke. Ranked #2 by the WBO, ladies and gentlemen, Smokin' Bert Cooper.
Trunk's a little high, Bert, so I'll decide what a low blow is. They come to see you fight, not me referee. We understand that? I want your best. Shake hands and come out boxing. Good luck.
So Cooper, the only man to knock down Evander Holyfield. Been in those 7 championship rounds against Holyfield before losing. Michael Moore, more experienced, but Moore says he's been sleeping, and drinking his opponent. So he's focused on Bert Cooper. So here we go. Scheduled for 12. Do you think we'll go anywhere near that? Cooper hoping to prove that it was not a fluke against Evander Holyfield. Left hand. Cooper has Moore up against the ropes. The body shot, the right hand. Moore blocking one right, then he takes him.
And he's hurt.
And
Michael Moore is out on his face.
Michael Moore.
That fight is over if Joe O'Neill doesn't give him a count right here, but Michael Moore looks like he's out cold on his feet.
Now Joe O'Neill sends Cooper over to continue the count.
That's right. By virtue of Cooper not going to the neutral corner, the count was stopped and gave Moore a few extra seconds.
A long
straight
count
right hand.
Michael Moore. Bert Cooper goes after him. Moore went down at the hands of Bigfoot Martin before he got up to win that fight. But in the surprise here, Cooper got him down in the first round.
But he just hurt Cooper with a short little left hand himself.
Crowd on its feet. What a first round. Now they're standing head to head.
Watch your head, Bert.
Moore digging in a body shot. Cooper responds with a couple of his own.
Oh! Cooper goes down! Out! He is stretched out. His mouthpiece came flying out. Got caught with a right hook. This is Michael Moore's trademark, fighting back, but Bert Cooper is asking
his mouthpiece.
That's right, he's asking Joe O'Neill for his mouthpiece, and he doesn't put it back in.
Both men down in the first round. And Cooper absorbing more punishment. And more all over him again. Oh, Cooper! How was he able to stand?
Just some vicious body shots by Michael Moore landed, and great hooks to the head. Cooper's
about to go again. And still 27 seconds remain, and Cooper trying to fight back. Cooper without the mouthpiece, trying to survive the round. And now a timeout is called, waiting for a lull in the action for the mouthpiece.
I'm surprised Joe O'Neill took that long to put the mouthpiece back in, because when it was out, he was right near the corner. Should have administered the mouthpiece back 30 seconds ago.
So Cooper gets a breather. What an eventful first round this has been, with both men knocked down and both nearly out. Final seconds of the round, and Cooper has Moore hurt again. And that's it for the round, and the crowd on its feet. We'll take a look at Michael Moore going down first, Joe. Even though the count was stopped for a neutral corner,
That's right.
I don't believe he would have been counted out, Joe.
It started out with a couple of body shots. You're right about that, because he did get up in time, but it looked like he wasn't. Right hand off the temple, two right hands.
rights.
That's the one that really stunned him. His legs are coming off the ground. His hands are dropped. His back is turned. I mean, those are all the telltale signs of a guy that's not going to keep on fighting. And now here comes Cooper going down. This is the reverse. Bingo. Left hand down, right hook over the top. Two of them, as a matter of fact. Mouthpiece comes out. Cooper looks like he's dead. And, of course, gets back up and recoups and makes a great assault at the end of the round. So what a wild first round.
I'm glad Riddick Bowe's scoring this one, not me.
I think Riddick's glad he's sitting here watching this one. Sure does.
Start the second round. Cooper immediately tags Moore.
Well, obviously, Cooper, the punches that he got hit with were those 2 right hooks, and he's continuing to drop his left hand. He's got to keep those up.
Body shot from Moore. With the left hand. Moore. And Cooper goes back at him. What a heavyweight brawl this is. Heads are close together. Warned by referee Joe O'Neill. Watching heads touching each other. Always dangerous. Oh. Moore landing the body shot, then the uppercut. And now Cooper fighting out of it. Shot from Moore. And Cooper responds. Tit for tat here in the second. So Cooper now has dropped Holyfield and Moore. Impressive notches on his belt. Should he get one? Now he hurts Moore again with the right hand. Another right. And Moore against the ropes.
Michael Moore keeping his hands up real high on his chin, though, and really he's smothering a lot of those punches. They're hard and they're having effect, but he's not taking clean shots off the chin.
Cooper would be smart to work the body.
Well, Cooper and Moore, every time Moore throws that right hook to the body, he never misses it.
There's the body shot. Tries an uppercut. Joe O'Neill says bring him up. Thought the body shot was low. Cooper seemed to agree inside of a minute remaining in the second round. Moore digs in the body shot. Cooper with the right hook and the uppercut. Old-fashioned heavyweight war. Good body shot from Cooper.
That's right. Cooper's doing what he should do and has to do, and that's answer back every punch Moore throws.
But
right
try to
now,
bring those hands down, Joe.
That's right. But right now, Cooper's actually a little bit busier on the inside right now with his body shots.
A little patty cake going on here. The waning seconds of the second round.
Well, those are little shots.
Cooper with the right hook.
Little shot thrown by Moore to set up big ones.
For Moore to respond.
You see what I mean about those little shots Moore will throw to set up those big shots.
And then Cooper back to the body of Moore. And Cooper talking at Moore as the round ends.
In the water.
You got it right here. There you go, baby.
Take the time and pick the shot. He right there for you. Stay right here. You shoot him over there. Slip, walk your way through. Pick the shot. Walk in front and pick the shot. Them body shots hurt. You feel him getting a little weak? Okay. Just like Ramsey Hassan.
Right here, Chabin. Right there. Bucket right in front of you, son. You gotta hit him. Chabin. Manual, Vaseline. That's right. Don't worry about that. All right, second time. Okay. Okay.
As we start the third round, we'll be bringing in Riddick Bowe for his comments in just a moment. But this has been something for the first two. Michael Moore in the gold Kronk trunks, Bert Cooper in the black, fighting for the vacant WBO heavyweight championship belt. Oh, Cooper with the combination, and another combination, and he has Moore down again. This time Cooper went to the neutral corner. Here we go. 2 knockdowns to 1 in favor of Bert Cooper. Riddick Bowe, what do you think so far?
Well, I think Moore shouldn't be on the ropes. He should try to utilize his left hand a little bit more, or his right hand, and just keep Cooper in the middle of the ring. He's really effective when he's laying on the ropes.
Did the number of knockdowns surprise you?
Oh, very much so. I don't really. Moore's Moore's a big puncher, but I don't really think he takes a good punch.
Now Joe O'Neill warning Bert Cooper to keep the punches up. It's obvious in the last two fights that Cooper's been able to knock down his opponents, and that Moore has been knocked down.
Moore should be boxing a little bit more at this particular point.
Now he knocks out the mouthpiece again for the second time. Cooper's mouthpiece is on the canvas.
And this has been a trademark of Moore against Everett Bigfoot Martin. When he got knocked down, came back and fought brilliantly against Alex Stewart. Got stunned in the second round, came back to knock out Alex Stewart. So Michael Moore is not about to quit because he's getting knocked down or hurt.
Now a timeout to get the mouthpiece taken care of.
But I agree with Riddick Bowe saying that Michael Moore should be off the ropes. It's something we pointed out at the beginning of the fight.
And look at the blood from the right eye of Bert Cooper.
Of course, Tony Ayala Sr. in Moore's corner is telling him to use the ring more.
It's turned into a free-for-all here. Now they slow down. Approximately 35 seconds remaining in the round. A cut opened up to the right of the right eye of Bert Cooper. Moore has been down twice. Cooper once. The uppercut from Moore.
Well, the farther apart Cooper's hands get, the more easily Michael Moore is going to slide in those uppercuts, and that's really where he does his most damage on the inside.
Michael Moore needs to start putting combinations together. He's throwing one shot at a time. Cooper can see him coming, so therefore he's able to cover up.
And you're right about Moore. You're right about Moore not being busy because Bert Cooper has got a nasty cut in his right eye. And luckily he's got Eddie Aliano in his corner.
If I was Michael Moore, I would take full advantage of that. That would be my mark to hit.
I wonder if that was a headbutt or a punch that opened up that cut, because their heads were awfully close together, Joe.
All right, here we go with the knockdown. Here's Bert just starting to unload on Michael Moore. And look at the short, straight right hands he's turning over, landing right on the button. And Moore actually just goes down from the barrage of punches. Tries to pull himself up and slips off it. Here we go, another angle. Left hook, right hand. Keeps going back and forth, the same combination. Left, right, till finally he beats him down.
If Moore should win this fight, they should take him back to the gym and teach him how to slip. Get under some of them shots. He's standing too straight up.
And you're echoing exactly what Emmanuel Stewart told Michael Moore to do before he came out for that round in which he was knocked down. He told him he has to slip and slide a lot more and get off the ropes, and he wasn't doing it.
And I think he's waiting just a bit too much for Cooper.
That's right. Well, maybe he thinks Cooper's going to shoot some steam off and he'll be able to turn it on later on, but not at this rate.
Here we go for the fourth round.
If you keep taking shots like that, he won't be around.
Exactly.
Bert Cooper in the black trunks, Michael Moore in the gold. Moore has been down twice, Cooper once. Looks like they have the cut on the right eye under control for the time being, but the head's perilously close together once again.
Well, it's starting to bleed just a little bit, but he's got Eddie Aliano in his corner, who's one of the best cutmen in the business.
Cooper trying the uppercut. Head to head along the ropes.
Moore goes right back to the rope. Wrong place for him to be.
Well, I'm wondering if his legs just can't get him out of the way, or this is his game plan. This is where he wants to be.
I fought Cooper, and Cooper's so strong on the inside. The first round he kept me on the rope. He has to get off the ropes to beat Cooper.
Of course, if I'm not mistaken, you got off the rope, center of the ring, and landed a nice 1-2 and stopped him. Memory serves me right.
The head's touching on the inside and also touching in the area of where the cut is by Cooper's right eye.
And Cooper's right eye is starting to open up a lot more. And see, this is what Michael Moore should do. At least try to get off the ropes and spin out to the middle of the ring where he can use a little of his reach.
See, the blood has gone off of Cooper's eye and onto Moore's head as a result of them constantly touching heads. It's also on the shoulder of Michael Moore midway through the fourth round. And Moore continues to live on the ropes.
Good body shot to the liver, which really backed Bert Cooper off for a second there.
Oh! And Cooper lands again.
Wow.
And his mouthpiece is falling out. Tries to push it back in with his glove.
Moore landed some great shots to the body, a left hand over the top, and Cooper snuck in a counter right hand, which buzzed Moore. So this is a real back and forth fight here in this round.
Moore's taking a big chance. He's on the inside. He might get a headbutt and bleed, you know, get a cut or something. I just think he should box a little bit more now.
Well, like you said, it may be the fact that he can't get off the ropes, that Bert Cooper is so strong early on in these rounds that he just won't let him off the. But it looks like he could spin off if he wanted to and get out into the middle of the ring.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like he's applying that much pressure. He's just in front of him.
That's right.
Is Moore hoping that he can tire Cooper out? That's why he's employing the strategy as well, try to get up to the later rounds.
Looks like it.
A couple of right hands from Moore. Final seconds of the fourth round.
Okay.
Give me the water. Let me see what you got. Give me the water. Okay, take it away, Eddie. Right there, butter jam. Get down. Give me the water. Okay. Stay down. Give me the water. Give me the water. Stay down. And hit it.
All right, let's take a look at Riddick Bowe's scorecard. Riddick, how have you scored it?
I have Cooper ahead by 2 points, 38-40.
Like a couple of 10-10 rounds in there.
Yeah, I have the last round even.
Push him. When you push him off, lead back with the right jab right away. You don't have to worry about getting caught with a right hand if you do that, because your right hand will beat to him to the punch first. Lead with the right jab as soon as you push him off, okay? Take this ball.
He's pushing you. Nail, as soon as he push you with both hands, so he can't punch you. Come back with the punch. That's right. That's right. You got him, baby. As soon as he push you with both hands.
Push him around this round. Push him around this round.
Here we go for the fifth round. Most of Moore's fights have ended in 4 or less. If this one had done so, he would have been the loser. Here we go. He's been down twice, and we're into the fifth round.
And here goes Moore getting backed up automatically when his corner told him to use that right jab and stay on the outside a little bit more. He's not listening to Emmanuel Stewart.
Right eye continues to bleed from Bert Cooper. And the heads stay perilously close. It's dangerous.
But this is the type of fight I have a feeling Michael Moore likes. He likes the grind on the inside. He doesn't like that, but
he's taking the price.
I have a feeling that he feels that eventually Cooper's going to wear down a little bit and he's going to really be able to open up. But at this point, it's really not working for him.
He continues to use the strategy. Backed up against the ropes, fighting from there, landing. Lands with the left hook. Cooper was the one asking for the water between rounds. I wonder if that's what Moore is trying to do, wear him down. But Cooper's starting to sound like a tennis player as he hits his shots.
That eye is looking real nasty on. Oh,
Great hand by Cooper. Midway through the fifth round. And the body shots a little bit low from Cooper, wanting to keep him up. The eye looking ugly, as you said, bloody. Heads stay together. A real Donnybrook here tonight. Good right hand and then the left for Moore. It started with the right, and now Moore has Cooper up against the ropes. Oh, and down he goes!
Doesn't look like he's going to get up. He's shaking his head no. 9. Amazing.
He got up at 9.
Sure. Tell you,
it's over.
That's it.
Michael Moore, the WBO heavyweight champion. In fact, the first southpaw to ever win a heavyweight championship.
Exactly right. And it paid off for him. He had a lot of patience sitting in the corner there, and those punches finally caught up to Cooper. He opened them up and came out with some big shots, and that was it. Beautiful right hook.
It all started with a right, and then look for an uppercut when we show you the replays. And Holyfield proved that Cooper was vulnerable to an uppercut, and Moore showed it again here tonight. Both men down twice in the fight into the fifth round, but Cooper finally going down to the count.
Here we go back to that corner where this knockout happened. Michael Moore started off with that right hook, lit him up with that left hand, 2 or 3 more behind it. puts him up against the ropes, and there he goes. He's starting to let it all cut loose. Left hand, right uppercut, and that was it. That last left hand was really insignificant because he was already out on his way down. Here we go. We got another overhead look of this. Moore starts out with a chopping left hand, or right hand, left uppercut, whips one over to the air. Cooper gets his hand up, sneaks a little short left and a right in there. Doesn't land solidly with that, but here comes this right uppercut. This is bingo. That's the one that picks his head off, and boom. Chops it right down with that left hand. That was picture perfect. Bring the head up with the uppercut, slice it off with the left hand. And that was a beautiful shot by Michael Moore.
Riddick Bowe, your thoughts on what just transpired here?
I think Michael Moore showed a lot of patience. He was taking a pounding there for a second, but he was able to withstand the storm and come back. I'm surprised.
I know you are, and it's interesting because you were saying that as he holds his WBO championship belt and stands up on the ropes to brandish it for the crowd, you were saying you didn't like his strategy. Apparently, he must have felt or known that eventually it'd pay off for him.
Well, as he hit Cooper with the last combination, I started to say that he should jump on him right now, and as I was getting ready to say it, he did it.
Yeah. Wow, do we have some action here tonight with 4 knockdowns in less than 5 rounds.
All right.
He says he's all right, but just as he did with Holyfield, he had him in trouble, but Bert Cooper could not finish him off.
Michael Moore showed a lot of heart tonight.
And let's go to Michael Buffer for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I give the official time, how about a round of applause for 2 heavyweights here at the Trump Taj Mahal that showed us what heavyweight action is all about. Bert Cooper and Michael Moore. Let's hear it. The official time, referee Joe O'Neill stops the contest at 2 minutes and 21 seconds of round number 5. The winner by TKO, and now the WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Moore.
So at 2:21 of the 5th round, after knocking Bert Cooper down for the 2nd time, you heard Joe O'Neill say okay, and Cooper kind of nodded yes, and then he said, "Are you sure?" And Cooper nodded yes a 2nd time, and then Joe O'Neill just saw something in Cooper's eyes and waved it off that it was a good call. That was it. Let's go to Joe Goosen, who's with the champion.
All right, I'm here with Michael Moore, the new WBO heavyweight champion of the world. First off, how does it feel to be world champ, Michael?
Feels good. It's going to sink in later. First of all, I want to thank God, my Lord, my Savior. Chief Knox, I did it, man. All to Detroit. Fucking right, man. It's over with.
All right, now let me ask you something, Michael. You had a strategy of sitting on the ropes. I can't believe that was a Manuel Stewart strategy for you to sit on the ropes. Well, I know, and I was commenting on that during the broadcast. Why were you doing it? I have some feelings why you were, but I want to hear it from you.
Because I can see shots better, and I see him on the outside picking my shots, and I came through. Bert's a tough guy. Take your hat off to Mr. Cooper. It was a good fight. He had me hurt a couple times, but I came right back.
Now, it was your strategy. Did you think your strategy was failing you when you got knocked down in the 1st round? And I said, did you think your strategy was failing you when you got knocked down and were taking some good shots on the ropes?
I couldn't take anything away from Bert. I mean, he come out to try to fight, and I was just the strongest. Thank the Lord, my Savior, boy. He came through.
What were you thinking when you got knocked down in that 1st round? Were you aware of what was going on, or were you on Queer Street for a minute there?
No, I guess I was hurt a little. But this is boxing. You're going to get hurt. I mean, I went down, sign of a good fighter, come right back up and win the fight.
Do you feel all the confidence in the world in yourself now as a heavyweight? Does this prove to you that you beat a man that took Evander Holyfield 7 rounds to knock out, took you 5, and a man that had time to train for you? Do you feel confident in yourself?
I feel confidence. I always had confidence in myself because I'm a strong-minded person. Some water, please. And I just went in there and I did it.
All right, I'm sure.
I like to thank all the police department back in Detroit. That's what this badge was for on my shorts. Chief Knox, I did it, and everyone else. Bert was a tough fucking guy, man. Excellent.
All right, very well.
Evander Holyfield.
And there's the Continental America's heavyweight belt in the background. Crowd saluting Evander Holyfield. Against Rodriguez, he laid to rest any doubts that he possesses a heavyweight punch and knockout power. Meanwhile, the heavy-handed Alex Stewart waits. Time now for the introductions. We go to ring announcer Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall by way of the Trump Plaza Hotel Casino here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This bout is a presentation of the Trump Plaza Main Events Monitor and Madison Square Garden Boxing. It is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board and the World Boxing Council. Boxing Commissioner here in the state of New Jersey is Larry Hazard Sr., the Deputy Commissioner, Lawrence Wallace, and the Chairman is Jerry Gormley. Representing the WBC is Roy Van Putten. In attendance here at ringside, assigned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, are the 3 judges. They will be doing the scoring on a 10-point must system. And they are Richard F. Murray, William Kostrub, and Rocky Castellani. Chief physician at ringside, Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Also in attendance, Doctors Charles Wilson and Stanley Eden. The timekeeper for all the bouts is Roosevelt Gilbert. And counting for the knockdown seconds is Ted Pick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Donald Trump's Trump Plaza Hotel Casino in Atlantic City, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds of boxing on the WBC Continental America's Heavyweight Championship. The referee for this bout is Tony Perez. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the black trunks with gold trim, and he weighed in at an even 223 pounds from Brooklyn, New York. Undefeated as a professional, 24 consecutive victories, 24 consecutive knockouts. He's ranked number 2 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger tonight, Alex the Destroyer Stewart. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with black trim, he weighed an even 212 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia. Also undefeated, 22-0, 18 KOs. He's the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the world and currently holds the WBC Continental America's Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Evander, the real deal, Holyfield.
Remember, protect yourself at all times. If you score a knockdown, I'm going to put you in the farthest neutral corner. Don't come out because I'm going to... Okay? Now, the bell will not save anybody in any round, okay? No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. The 3 knockdown rule is being waived. Shake hands and good luck to both of you. Protect yourself at all times.
Sometimes the magnitude of the evening and the unusual importance is reflected in the eyes of the fighter. This is called freezing up or getting cold. You see a little bit of worry. You don't see that frozen look yet on the eyes of Alex Stewart. We will see as the bell rings whether he is indeed frozen or whether he's in his natural fighting style.
Round 1 scheduled for 12. Evander Holyfield in the red trunks with the black trim. Alex Stewart in the black trunks with the gold trim.
Stewart much taller, but Holyfield is filled out from the waist up, and he's much bigger in the upper body than is Stewart. He's got great punching power on the big shoulders of his, has Holyfield. He's got a stiff jab out right now.
Stewart has never really been in this kind of a high-profile situation before. You know, he's had most of his fights at the Felt Forum, which is more like a club atmosphere. So the question is, how will he react tonight?
So many times you see a big opportunity come and it freezes a fighter right in the strikes. Right now, he's certainly not fighting with his usual style and abandon. He's eating these jabs of Holyfield's, which is a bad news because the right hand will follow shortly.
Holyfield generally starts off slowly. By that, perhaps he needs the first round to heat up, and then things could get shaky for his opponent.
Well, he's firing bombs right now. He has been set out to put pressure of the kind that he's not used to getting. Stewart. Opening up to getting that pressure.
With combinations is Evander Holyfield to the face of Alex Stewart.
And Stewart's got to fight back for a little bit more power than he's been doing. He's punching with tentative punches in Stewart, whereas Evander Holyfield is punching with everything he's got.
Stewart, a combination boxer fighter. Eddie Futch told me he had Stewart work more on the fighting part in preparation for Holyfield. Another combination by Evander Holyfield.
You see the fast hands of Holyfield and the inability of Alex Stewart to block him.
Holyfield extremely quick, very effective jab, superior hand speed.
Once Evander Holyfield establishes that 1-2, the next thing is the 3, which is a left hook following that zinging right hand. That's what usually knocks you out.
It's the right that ended things for Rodriguez in his last fight, the second round. Holyfield digging to the ribs of Stewart.
Sometimes that adrenaline starts pumping so much it makes you tired before you even start, and he looks tired already.
Does Stewart taking some punishment to the face. He has only been knocked down once against a fighter named Conroy Nelson, but he got up to win that fight in the second round. Stewart looking for the confidence to get past the first round, and maybe that will carry him along somewhat. Heading for the bell. And 1 round complete. And you got to go with Holyfield in round 1.
Oh, that's a definite round for Holyfield. He established everything he wanted to do. He established the jab. He established the pace. And while Alex Stewart doesn't look frozen like a block of ice, he certainly doesn't look like he's in his natural rhythm or fighting with a great deal of strength. He's tentative in what he does.
When you hit a guy here, come back up with a hook. You hear me? He likes to do this, right? So you make believe you hit me here. Come with the hook middle, right? Because he can't catch both of them. He can catch one, he can't catch two of them. You hear me?
Ferret giving advice, maybe too many pieces of advice to be able to be absorbed by Alex Stewart. And now, in his quiet way, Eddie Futch is saying a few words.
And Lou Duva in front of Holyfield. Round 2 scheduled for 12. Alex Stewart is actually seeking an American record here. Should he knock Holyfield out, it would be number 25 from the start of a career. He's currently tied with Mac Foster for 24 consecutive knockouts at the start of a career. The world record, Jose Manuel Ibar Urcan of Spain, 30. And here comes Holyfield.
Stewart opened that round much better than he opened the first one. He was punching hard. He thought he had himself a piece of cake till he got a couple of counter punches, hard, zinging punches by Holyfield. But he is punching much better and with much more authority as Stewart.
Stewart 6'3", 223. Holyfield 6'2.5" and 212. Does Stewart look scared to you?
Yes, he looks a little apprehensive. There's a trickle of blood from someplace. I see a little mark of blood. I don't know where that's coming from on Stewart. There's no cut. There's where the blood's coming from. Right eye of Stewart. Nice size cut. Can't see it clearly yet.
They're right above us now. Overhand right by Stewart. A grazing punch, though. Stewart just winding up and missing.
Stewart is missing, but he is pitching bombs. And remember, this guy can punch. He's got a puncher's chance. Anybody that knocked out 24 guys can punch.
Even if he loses tonight, do you think he could still come out not looking like a loser?
Too early to tell. Too early to tell. Right now, off of what he's doing, off of this round, he's looking good.
Stewart throwing bombs.
He certainly shook the cobwebs off.
And landing with that right, Stewart. It wasn't that powerful, though. So this has to be a confidence builder for Alex Stewart.
The cut on the eye does not appear to be that bad. It is not bleeding profusely. It's more of a nick than a big cut on the right eye of Stewart, but it's not good news in the second round.
Well, if Stewart can get past the second round, it'll be more than the last fight because Rodriguez was KO'd by Holyfield in round 2. Less than 30 seconds.
Well, he's punching with everything he's got as Stewart, and he's landed a couple of good shots, but they don't seem to have an effect on Evander Holyfield.
Stewart is dazed.
Stewart in big trouble for Stewart, but the bell will save him.
Stewart survives the second. Could have been a goner had it been earlier in the round.
No problem.
Give me the bucket.
That bell saved him completely.
Got it. How you feel?
Right.
Just when it looked like he was getting his plan together and landing punches, he got nailed by Holyfield, and he steps up the gas. There's nobody that finishes like Evander Holyfield when you're in trouble. Watch this series of punches. That's the right hand that got him in trouble. Now comes all the other punches. One after the other, raining on Alex, and Alex does not know how to cover up. Let's watch this clearly. That punch. You see the leg come up, all nerves start to jangle, and you seek the desire to lay on the canvas.
How many times have we seen the devastating right hand of Evander Holyfield? Round 3, scheduled for 12. Let's see if Holyfield can pick up where he left off. And let's see how Stewart responds.
You have to see if Stewart is intimidated by that little shellacking he got at the corner at the end of that round. His corner seemed very worried. It's a babble of voices, but they took care of the cut very well.
Alex Stewart seeking respect.
Oh,
he's
very
never
low
lost.
punch. Excuse me, very low punch by Stewart. And Tony comes over and says, keep your punches up, but that don't ease the pain.
Stewart has never lost, but of course his opponents have been questioned over and over again.
Now Holyfield in a very lazy posture. I don't understand why he's doing that unless he's trying to lull Stewart.
There's the jab shot out by Holyfield.
He has not tried an uppercut yet, and yet Stewart is leaning in, ready to get hit by a nice uppercut.
Little blood trickling from the right nostril of Stewart.
Evander Holyfield follows instructions very well. Lupe screaming, double up that jab, and just as he says it, Evander Holyfield does it.
They want Holyfield to spin Stewart around.
Well, they want him to give him angles to turn, not to stand in front of him. Why get hit by a guy that can punch as hard as he can when you can turn around, spin him, and punch him at the same time? Evander's very good at that, but he's gotten lazy this time. He's just confident that he can put this guy out. He's standing right in front waiting for his shot, for his opening. There's the uppercut we talked about. That's open all night.
A short, crisp uppercut by Holyfield. There's the double up of the jab by Holyfield.
Again, turn, screams Georgie Benton. Duva echoing, oh, good, solid right hand by Evander Holyfield right on the chin of Stewart. Stewart firing back.
Stewart able to come back with a combination.
No dog in Stewart. He's brave. He's up there.
He's standing right in against Holyfield.
He's putting it out punch by punch. You certainly can't criticize his courage.
Less than 20 seconds, round 3. A solid shot to the midsection of Stewart. Final final seconds of the third. Oh, and a heavy right by Stewart that caught Holyfield on the chin. It's getting interesting. 3 rounds complete. The only time Alex Stewart went down was back in July of 1988. Here's an Alex Stewart flashback. This is the first time he tasted the canvas against a boxer by the name of Conroy Nelson. It was a first-round knockdown, and let's see what did it.
There's the uppercut, turned his head, and down he went. He's open for an uppercut. It's evident, and it's just a question of time before Georgie Benton spots that in the corner and says to Evander, go for the uppercut. Load up on it because he's available for it.
But Stewart came back with a TKO on the second that night.
Just keep on top of it, man. You got me covered?
Well, just turn a little more. You're standing too much in front of him.
See, turn. You don't be trying to load up, and then you'll see the shot load up. All right, just keep hustling. You got me?
Come on. Be patient, homie. Be patient.
Round 4 scheduled for 12.
Stewart, no evidence of any freezing, no evidence of any fear, no evidence of anything except a man bent on a big upset. He's held his own, although he's lost every round. And he is fraught with danger. His punches are right there.
He's gotten to the point where he is sometimes antagonistic with regard to the lack of respect. He says, I've been treated by Holyfield people as if I didn't even exist, like Alex is a schoolboy who doesn't know how to fight. Somebody has to pay for that. And I can't wait to see the looks on people's faces after I win this fight. From Atlantic City's Convention Center, Steve Albert and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. It is round 4 of this WBC Continental America's heavyweight fight. The championship held by Holyfield is his second defense, and Alex Stewart undefeated, 24-0 with 24 knockouts.
Again, Holyfield standing right in front of Alex, who is not shy about putting that right hand in there. Whether he misses or whether he loads up on it, he is throwing that right hand. And Evander is not following his corner's advice. He is not giving him angles. He's not turning him, but he's standing right in front. I think he's getting a little impatient. He wants this thing to be over with, and he is not having trouble putting away Stewart. Stewart is not going anywhere.
Stewart told me the keys to winning tonight are, number 1, press Holyfield, and number 2, take room and time from Holyfield. Stewart can't give him the room and time to punch. And he is causing a little consternation, a little frustration now as far as Holyfield.
Is being patient. He's doing his work. He is not sacrificing the body. He's punching the body, and then the only thing he has let up on is that one good uppercut he landed. He's not repeated it yet.
Both fighters in tremendous condition. Of course, Holyfield with the high-tech scientific approach to endurance strength. Alex Stewart uses the Islanders fitness coach, the hockey team, and he uses many of the same methods as Holyfield.
Now, both men are in good condition. The cut has not reopened, has not been a factor in this at all. It's there, it's a little nick, but it's being well taken care of by the corner.
And round 4 will be history. 4 rounds complete in Atlantic City. Well, Evander Holyfield, not only a star in the ring, but he is starred on the Super Dave Osborne show, seen right here on Showtime, one of the great daredevils of our time, Super Dave Osborne. Evander Holyfield breaking into acting as well these days.
You got to know when this guy is out punching you. You understand? You got to realize it. See, when you see him out punching you, you just open up, right? Don't let him out hustle you. You got me covered? Yeah. All right.
Hey, you got to start punching it. Don't get lazy.
We'll take a look at Ferdy's score sheet. And you've got it all, Evander Holyfield.
Yes, but that last round was very even and could well have been Alex Stewart's. I just thought the punches of Evander Holyfield was sharper, more diversified, landing better, but it was an even round as Alex Stewart shows no signs of giving up, and he's getting stronger.
It is round number 5, scheduled for 12. Evander Holyfield, the number 1 ranked heavyweight contender. Alex Stewart rated number 2 by the WBA. And looking to prove himself and gain respect tonight.
Well, if he keeps this up,
he will.
If he keeps this up, he will improve his chances in the heavyweight ranks that are slim, because he is not disgracing himself at all.
Well, Eddie Futch certainly has a lot of confidence in Mr. Stewart. This is the second time he's been with him. He was with him in his pro debut, and he came back to advise him for this fight. So he's got a lot of credibility in his corner, that's for sure.
Well, he has an excellent corner. Edwin Bert was a very fine boxer, and his training and his advice has been good. And Mike Jones is a great motivator. He can really holler and convince you. So he's got a good corner, and so has Holyfield.
Prior to this fight, Stewart had never been extended beyond the 4th round. This is the first time he's ever had to go past 4.
So far, if there's a decisive edge in all this, it's that Holyfield is the leader in the fight. Oh, 2 good shots by Stewart. Right on the head. Another good range. Holyfield standing still, not moving.
A dazed look on the face of Holyfield, as if to say, what's going on here?
Well, what's going on is he's standing still, and Alex is teeing off. He's standing right in front of him.
A right uppercut by Stewart. Got in there. By Stewart, nailed Holyfield.
I mean, he's getting Holyfield getting nailed by every right hand. There's another one. And he has got Holyfield just hanging on.
Holyfield looks bewildered. What an upset is right. Under a minute left in round 5.
And back comes Holyfield. And how often we've seen this in the Dokes fight.
Was Holyfield playing possum? Shades of the Dokes fight.
Absolutely, but he was taking some shots. None of that could have done him any good. He came back because he's got such a fighting heart.
A reckless right by Stewart almost cost him.
2 good hooks by Stewart. There's a right hand by Stewart. And Holyfield again dragging.
Under 30 in the 5th. What a round for Stewart.
Stewart got this fight in his hands. Can he take it?
That was a grazing right by Alex Stewart.
What a round for Alex Stewart. He's taking this one big.
Doing? Yeah.
This should be interesting.
You know what you're doing. All right, well, don't do it no more. You understand?
Don't be a hero out there and take shots, goddammit. You get out there and you punch.
Okay, now listen. You go to this guy now, and you get them punches, and just get back with your combination. And you'll take him out of here. You understand? Now
Come on, he's busted up now. Come on.
You don't have to jump around so much.
Holyfield took a lot of shots in that 5th round.
Here is Stewart, and Stewart is starting to pump in these shots. Now watch how they land. That right hand should have knocked anybody out, and he just kept pumping that whole round. Evander Holyfield went to sleep on him. Let him get brave. This is what's called in boxing. Don't let your opponent get brave. And he took the round in magnificent style to Alex Stewart, and all of a sudden, folks, we got a fight.
And that's the first time I've ever heard Holyfield berated in the corner by Lou Duva. Round 6 scheduled for 12. Stewart coming off his best round of the fight. And let's see how Holyfield responds. Never thought we'd be saying that.
Well, we've seen how Holyfield responds to problems, because Dokes gave him all he could take, and just when it looked like he was going, he would come back with furious flurries.
Left just missed by Holyfield.
And that one was loaded like an atom bomb.
Lightning quick, too.
And he runs into 2, 3, 4 punches by Stewart.
Left uppercut by Holyfield. That dug in.
Now Holyfield's fighting like the #1 contender.
He's really upset. He's fighting
This is vintage Holyfield. Focused, concentrated, looking for his knockout.
But Stewart showing he can take it. Can he continue to withstand this punishment?
I think he's leaning toward the canvas. His legs are weak. He's got blood all over his face.
Stewart better be careful.
Stewart is caving in. And who wouldn't under this barrage?
Stewart is staggered with 1:40 and counting in round 6. Stewart can hardly stand.
Stewart is a whip fighter right now.
One punch could end it. There's blood all over Stewart's face.
But the question is, the punch comes from whom? Because Stewart has still got that punching power.
This must seem like the longest round ever for Stewart.
Oh, there was the uppercut that we talked about, right on the button.
Look at the blood coming out of the right eye of Alex Stewart. He is bleeding profusely.
Now his face is a mask of blood as Evander Holyfield is punch-shotting. He's just taking his time. He's looking for the openings. He is being very accurate. If there's one thing that marks Evander Holyfield's style, it's his ability to close. Finish the show.
Can Stewart make it through the 6th? His right eye a bloody mess.
Alex trying to fight back. Oh, there's the uppercut again.
Holyfield, his jaw quivering.
There's the uppercut again.
What a right uppercut by Holyfield.
It's there all night if he wants to land it.
Heading for the bell. Stewart will make it. As the blood oozes out from the right eye, and cutman Al Gavin will have to go to work.
What a shellacking.
Frank Doggett, the doctor.
And he's got his work cut out for him and has the corner. Let's listen to that corner.
It's all right, Doc.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Everybody's all right. How do you feel?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Stop with the water. Wipe, you got a towel, wipe him with the towel.
Only one guy in the corner, fellows. Only one guy inside.
Wipe his
Just
face.
look, this guy box. Don't stay in there with him. You're tired. What are you standing in there for? Box.
Jimmy, let me work on you.
Action from the 6th.
As you can see, that uppercut, which we have been talking about, is open all night long, and Evander has now taken advantage. The whistle blows, Doggett goes out, and it's going to be another round 7 for the weary Alex Stewart.
Stewart waiting for every last second to get up from the stool.
His legs do not look like they have any bounce at all. Those heavy body shots that Evander has been putting in has robbed young Alex Stewart of his legs.
Stewart's energy just set, but he loads up with the right.
Why not? He might as well take his chance. He might as well take his shot, because if this goes into steady condition, it's one man who knows his business teaching another who's learning.
And Holyfield throwing darts at the cut right now. He's got a big target. Stewart showing a lot of courage. Right uppercut by Holyfield.
Both men now showing some signs of weariness, although Holyfield, having administered the beating, is the fresher of the two. Ooh. What a load.
What a load that was. Not many. Ooh, a right by Alex Stewart. Not many people thought it would go this far. They thought Holyfield would dispose of Stewart early.
Holyfield dogging a little bit this time, indicating that last round took a lot out of him. He did everything he could under the sun to get Alex Stewart out of here, and he did not succeed. And here's Stewart, tired as he is, still throwing as much as he can, hoping to turn this around with one punch.
Stewart converting a lot of disbelieving people.
Again, blood pouring out of the cut.
Now the infighting on the uppercuts.
Someone had better teach Alex Stewart what to do about uppercuts. Anyone watching this will start practicing uppercuts if they're going to fight Alex Stewart.
If Stewart comes out of this learning anything, that will be it.
Well, you know, you learn that you've got a lot to learn. And if you understand that, then it's back to the drawing boards. He's young, he's strong, he can fight good, and this fight is not over.
As the blood continues to stream from the right eye of Stewart. Brother, it is coming down.
It's a kind of cut that you can't do much about. No matter what you put in there, it's going to keep pumping, it's going to keep bleeding. Holyfield giving Alex Stewart a parole for this round. He's just giving him a pass. Possibly because he's tired and trying to get his strength together for the final onslaught next round.
Left uppercut. Holyfield found the opening.
Boy, there's another one. Those uppercuts are coming from the boardwalk.
And round 7 is in the books. And they go right to the eye.
Don't get disqualified. Come on down.
Dr. Doggett is back.
Yeah, you're the boss.
It's not one of them mics. It has to be underneath them.
But you can't put it in front of while they're working on it. They're trying to work on it. You put the mic in front of while they're working on it. Keep the mic in front of them while they're working on it.
Dr. Doggett conferring with Tony Perez now.
Excuse me.
Doggett is a little perturbed because they would not let him in to examine the cut, which of course is not right. The doctor should be allowed to come in and take a look at the cut. Too many hands in that corner, too many people talking at one time, and Alex looks like a weary fighter. His mouth open, he's breathing hard, the bell rang, and it took every last second before he got up.
It's just impossible to stop the cut. Round 8 scheduled for 12. But Stewart continues to defy the odds, missed with that right, and he hangs in there with that vicious cut, with blood streaking down his face.
Again, Evander standing straight in front of him. And I'll tell you one thing, if he does that to Tyson, he'll fly out over the Atlantic. I mean, he has to give angles, he has to turn. Oh, no control over the legs of Stewart. He's just having a hard time just standing upright.
Holyfield with the jab now. Looking to set up the monster right. Let's see.
And this is the point where the cornermen holler, "You first." You see the weariness, the inability to control his legs. Those body shots, oh, another great uppercut. Those body shots of Holyfield are thunderous. Oh,
to the midsection.
You can hear that one without a mic all the way across the United States.
Holyfield just digging in. But Stewart stays on his feet.
Stewart is a brave fighter. He is being worn down like a battering ram against the gate. He is being slowly ground down, and there is no hope for him except to stand there and take it. His punches are ineffective now. They don't have that danger that they had earlier when he had a great round in the 5th.
And that is another major characteristic of Evander Holyfield. He knows how to wear people down with an accumulation of punches.
He is patient, above all patient.
Going for the money was Alex Stewart. And the right uppercut, you saw it by Holyfield. To snap Stewart's head back.
It's evident that as soon as Holyfield perceives an opening or a weakness, he exploits it all night long. He does not pardon you. However bad this looks right now, and he certainly is losing this fight handily, Alex Stewart, he's fighting back. And although the cut looks bad, it's up to the doctor to decide whether to cut it, to stop the fight. Stewart right now is still in this fight. He's still punching. He still has the ability. You cannot, with any judgment, stop the fight right now as long as he's fighting back.
The doctor has the authority to stop the fight, as does the referee.
As does the corner. I mean, if you have...
What's Tony Perez doing now?
I don't know. That's call the doctor and look at the cut time. too much. The doctor said, dog, it says too much, and that is it. Holyfield has won. No question about it. Alex Stewart went to school, and he got a lesson. I was about to say his corner should stop it. When you have a valuable property like Alex Stewart can be, why let him get demoralized and beaten and maybe never be the same fighter again? Why not just say, we've got to cut, let's go, we'll have better days, and forget about it. As far as I can see, Alex Stewart has the makings of a good heavyweight. He must go out and fight good fighters. He must learn his lesson slowly. The big jump to Evander was too much for him. He is a grammar school kid in a college environment here, but I do believe that he is good contender material with a scarcity of heavyweights there, bringing him along with fights where he will learn he could be a contender inside of a year and fight a rematch with Holyfield, and if it comes to that, finally fight Tyson if it has to.
And he has shed that Rodney Dangerfield tag.
Yes, you're right. I think he earned the respect of everyone watching this tonight. He had his chance. He looked good in the fifth. It looked like he was coming on, but Evander Holyfield is a concentrated, focused fighter.
So here in round 8, a technical knockout for Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield raising his record to 23-0 with 19 knockouts. He's now 5-0 as a heavyweight, all by KO. Meanwhile, they attend to the eye area of Alex Stewart. Dogged determination by Stewart, but Holyfield was just too much. Holyfield had his difficulty from time to time earlier on in the fight, but then he took charge. We'll get the official word in just a moment. Has to go down, though, as a moral victory for Alex Stewart. Although he lost the fight, he did gain a lot of respect here tonight. And I'm sure a lot of respect from this man, Evander Holyfield. Michael Buffer has the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to a very severe cut on the right eye of Alex Stewart, Chief Ringside Physician Dr. Frank B. Doggett advised referee Tony Perez to stop the bout. The official time, 2 minutes, 51 seconds of the 8th round. The winner, and still Continental America's heavyweight champion, still #1 contender, Evander, real deal, Holyfield.
He weighs in at 117.5 pounds, red trunks and a wide stripe. He is the British, the European, and the Commonwealth bantamweight boxing champion, winning 26 out of 28. Let us welcome Johnny Owen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the defending champion, hailing from Guajimalpa, Distrito Federal in Mexico. 118 pounds, white trunk, red design. Ladies and gentlemen, at weight again, 118, the defending WBC boxing champion, known as El Indio, Lupe Pintor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to give instructions, the main event referee, Marty Denkin.
Marty Denkin, the referee. Marty Denkin calls Lupe Pintor and Johnny Owen to the center of the ring. Johnny Owen has heard all the funny thin man jokes you can think of. They refer to him as Alfie Newman with boxing gloves on, but they say he's a lot tougher than he looks, not to be taken lightly. His big problem will be to withstand the body shots that you know are going to come his way from Pintor. Denkin is the third man in the ring, and we're set to go for the WBC bantamweight title, scheduled for 15. Pintor, a decided betting favorite here at ringside, Alan, correct?
Yes, he is. He's a 4-to-1 choice.
So here we go, round 1. Pintor with the left. Owen is in the red trunks, trimmed in white. Pintor in white.
Owen has the reach advantage, but he likes to mix it up inside. He'll try to back up Pintor.
And of course he's Right on top of Pintor now as Pintor lands some pretty good shots. Owen with that long left hand. Comes in with the right. Makes an uppercut. Pretty busy first round, Denny.
Very busy. Owens looks like to be a pretty well trained boxer there. Looking real sharp, throws a good jab, but kind of tough. And then next thing up for Pintor, who has that great punch.
You wonder where Owen gets any strength. It looks like matchsticks and overstatement.
He does, no question about it. He is atrociously thin, really, but obviously very tough. He's taken some pretty good shots to the body already in this opening round. It has been a busy round for both of these men. That shot to the liver, Owen didn't seem to mind it at all. Minute 45 to go in round one.
Owen has so much trouble keeping his weight up. This morning at 10 o'clock, before coming to the Olympic for the weigh-in, he weighed 118, and then he weighs in an hour later, and he's 117 and a half. He lost a half a pound walking over the building.
The British writers here to cover this fight, and they are considerable in number, said this is probably the biggest fight this man will ever have. He's almost like a prophet without honor in his own country, gets very little headlines, literally no press, and this would be the biggest thing that ever happened to him. That probably is a redundancy, but for a man who has fought as the British and European champion, to have to go 8,000 miles away to get your name in the London papers, that's something.
Got a nice busy left jab.
Closing minute of round one, and a very busy first round here. Pintor with a good left to the body again, and Owen with that jab comes back with a left of his own.
I think Owen is handling himself very well in this first round. Pressing the fight, making it tough.
You know, for a guy who's got a very extended reach over his opponent, he goes inside, which seems to be a strange situation.
Certainly has no fear of Pintor taking the fight through.
Closing 20 seconds of round number one, scheduled for 15, and a nice left hand by Johnny Owen, the Welshman. Lupe Pintor, the champion. And the seconds tick down to the close of round one, and Pintor busy with the left hand to the body. And upstairs to the jaw. But Owen stays on top of his man, and there's the bell. You're looking into the corner of the bantamweight champion, Lupe Pintor from Mexico. Won the title, record of 41-7, 33 knockouts, took it away from Carlos Zarate in Las Vegas. Had a title defense in Japan that ended in a draw, retained the title, defeated local boxing sensation Alberto Superfly Sandoval in 12 rounds, knocked him out.
Julio Hernandez, I believe, 5-year-old bantamweight champion. That's him leaning in and giving the instructions.
Johnny Owen, the skeleton from Merthyr, Wales. Seems stoic, without expression on his face. And here we go for round two.
Johnny Owens claims to have no hobbies. Boxing is his life. He runs 9 miles a day, whether he's got a fight coming up or not. That's quite a bit of mileage there, isn't it, Danny, for a fighter, 9 miles?
He's got to be in some excellent condition to be running 9 miles a day. He's probably definitely ready for this fight, as he's shown.
I gave Owen a slight edge in the first round.
Did you really?
I did. It was very close, but I don't know. I thought he had the jab working nicely there.
And you never do go for draws in rounds. You pick a winner, and that's it.
I'm sure the judges probably scored it even, but I prefer to give an edge. So.
Good right hand by Pintor. Right in the pit of the stomach, but Owen just keeps throwing leather. 2 minutes remaining here in round number two. And Owen right on top of Pintor, the champion, disdaining the fact that he has a reach advantage and willing to mix it up inside and giving Pintor all the action he wants.
I'm really surprised that Owen is staying inside with him. With those long arms, I would think he'd be out on the outside using his reach advantage there.
Pintor going to the body, Danny, seems to be trying to wear Owens down with that left hand to the liver.
That could be a shot that Owens isn't used to, coming from over in England, that area.
Well, Owen is nice and busy, but you have to wonder if he can hurt Pintor. He's landed a few shots flush and really hasn't bothered Lupe.
No, but if that keeps up for a steady diet of 10 rounds or so, it could have a very telling effect. Pintor, from stature and build, it seems obviously the stronger of the two men. Yet Owen, for all of his...
Owen took a good right hand and came right back.
Indeed. For all of his slim stature, Owen stays on top of his man and continues to throw leather. Pintor trying to pick him off with something sharp and devastating inside. Owen won't let him off the ropes, Alan.
A very determined fighter, Owen. This is his chance and he's going to make the most of it.
He's going toe-to-toe. He's giving no ground. He says he wants to win, looks like.
Boy, Pintor teed off with a couple of shots to the body, trying to throw the bigger bombs, but Johnny Owen stays right with him, in front of him, and it's a swarming, brawling type of fight.
Tough one to score. I think Pintor's landing the heavier punches, but Owen's landing more of them.
I tell you, Owen looks as though a stiff breeze would blow him right into the English Channel. But is he tough? 14 seconds remaining in round 2. Good right hand by Pintor in the left. Owen didn't even stagger. And the bell will end a hectic round 2. With Jay Gardner and his dad working in his corner. Owen is in the red trunks and Pintor in white. Owen, the tall, thin challenger.
The Welshmen on the Grand Avenue side of this building were singing songs of praise for Johnny Owen between rounds. They're confident. Owen looks confident.
Nice left hand by Owen. Well, we knew the Welsh could sing. We didn't know they could fight this good.
Owens reminds you of a praying mantis.
Good call, Danny Lopez. Pintor going to the body. 2:20 remaining in round 3. Johnny Owen staying on top of his man.
They say Owens could fight 25 rounds at top speed, but again, you have to wonder if those body punches will slow him down.
Those body punches definitely, I think, have to take something out of him. I think we'll see in the later round if the fight goes anywhere past 10 rounds.
Well, strangely enough, all of the people who've seen Johnny Owen fight say the longer it goes, the tougher he gets. Minute 48. Owen was warned a bit by Marty Jenkins. Nice left-right combination. Drives Pintor back. He's got Pintor over in his Owen's corner.
Pintor may be cut on the left eye there.
It looks like it. We'll wait and see as he comes around. We take another look at him.
I don't know how devastating Owen's punches are, but he's certainly landing a lot of them.
He is indeed, champ. No question about it. Minute remaining here in round number 3. There is a cut on Pintor's left eye, Alan.
Nothing too serious, but maybe it'll wake him up. Seems to be disturbed.
Pretty good-looking cut now, as I see it, in the eyebrow, right above the left eye. Johnny Owen keeps the pressure on Lupe Pintor. The WBC Bantamweight Championship on the line here tonight. Marty Jenkins, the third man, looking in, and Owen is right on top of his man. Half a minute to go in round 3.
Pintor throwing a lot of nice uppercuts inside there.
Now Owen using his longer reach, gentlemen, and that's the sharp left jab to keep Pintor away. Pintor with a cut above his left eye, trying to get inside. And Owen says, welcome to the party. He's more than happy to have him come in there. Has him against the ropes and won't let him up. 7 seconds, and the clock will bring us to the end of round number 3. And it's been a busy 3 rounds of championship fighting. So we've... Top-ranked boxer. If I could read sign language, it was hit him right here, and they pointed to right at the belt line. Here comes round number 4. Johnny Owen, the challenger from Mepler, Wales. Pintor from Mexico trying to unload some heavy bombs. And the minute Pintor throws the big leather, Owen starts to swarm all over him with a rash of blows. Owen, tall and, let's face it, very thin, to the point that he's preceded into the ring by a flag that shows a skeleton. But I tell you, he fights like a man possessed. A little over 2 minutes to go. Non-stop action with Johnny Owen. Artie Jenkins steps between them with a cautioning word.
Owen is getting his elbows in there on occasion. That's what Jenkins is doing.
Artie Owen with pretty good combinations, left and right, stays on top of Pintor. Nice left jab. Pintor trying to go to the body, shorter, and with a shorter reach. But I'm convinced Johnny Owen, win, lose, or draw, is just a fighter. Took a good right hand, took another.
That backed him up.
Another right hand. Pintor missing with that right hand. And Owen keeps on the attack.
I think Pintor may have found the key, that right hand.
That's right. Also, Owens didn't seem hurt by any of those right hands, though. Taking
Stopped
him
for
real
a
well.
brief moment, though, isn't he, Danny? And then he came right back on again. He takes a good punch.
Sure does.
And he's non-stop in his attack, relentless.
Those punches he throws are slicing blows. They could have caused that cut over Pintor's left eye.
I don't know, but what Pintor may be cut over the other eye, gentlemen. There's a smear of red there over his right eye. Wait and see as they separate the men. There's blood all over the trunks of Lupe Pintor. He was cut over the left eye in the third round.
Owen's got a scratch under his left eye. Not serious.
Owen is just relentless in his pursuit and attack, Alan Malamet.
It's amazing the way he comes back from that heavy artillery by Pintor. He's taken the fight to him.
He really has. Pintor has hit him with 3 big right hands. Blood coming out of the nose now of Johnny Owen. And blood on the face of Pintor. As these two men have stood toe-to-toe since the opening bell. No quarter given and none asked for. 13 seconds remaining here in round number 4, scheduled for 15. 5 seconds remaining, and Owen continues to throw punches. And that's the bell.
What will happen to
Round number 5, scheduled for 15. The WBC Bantamweight Championship on the line. Lupe Pintor in white. His trunk now blood splattered. Most of it from cuts over his eyes, one over each now. Owen took a right, just grazing the point of the chin. Comes back with combinations of his own. Swarms on top of Pintor, throwing a lot of leather. Left hand, now a right hand, another left by Owen. On top of Pintor and forcing the action. Lupe fighting back, going to the body. But Owen seems impervious to those body shots and to the 3 looping right hands that he took in round number 4.
Here it is, the 5th round. Makes you wonder if they're going to go another 10 at this pace. Definitely a blistering pace at this point.
Good left-handed uppercut by Pintor in that exchange inside, but Owen just keeps throwing punches. Alan, I think it's obvious that Pintor hits harder, but Owen hits more frequently.
That's for sure. Pintor's easy to hit. He's not quick for a bantamweight. Keeps his hands kind of low, and even Sandoval in the fight here, he landed some good shots on Pintor before Lupe wore him down with those body punches.
Another right hand by Pintor, but Johnny Owen taking shots to the body as well as rights to the chin. Comes back with an attack of his own that is almost relentless.
That cut over Pintor's right eye looking a little nasty.
It is nasty. It is a pretty good gash indeed. It was opened in the 2nd round, and it has grown. And he has a cut over his left eye as well. So the champion is marked, bloodied. His trousers, the trunks are more red than white in the front. And he's got a minute to go in round 5. It has been like this, toe-to-toe, since the bell started this fight. Johnny Owen is really showing us some kind of a fighter.
He's got to be in excellent condition to be going this pace like this and still going strong.
That is non-stop action. Owen taking shots to the liver and the body. Marty Jenkins separates the two men. He's had Pintor on the rope. Comes back to the attack. Pintor's hit him with some right hands. Unfazed, he's back to the attack. 22 seconds remaining in this, the 5th round. Pintor switched to the southpaw stance for a moment, trying to drive that left hand in for a slow down blow, but Owen seems impervious. And the bell is going to bring us to the close of a non-stop action 5th round. I'm Tom Kelly, along with former featherweight champion Danny Lopez and sports editor of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner Alan Malamed. We're in the 6th round of this bantamweight championship bout. Johnny Owen of Wales in the red. Lupe Pintor, the champion, in white, though his trunks now are more pink than white, as they are covered with blood, most of which is his from 2 cuts over his eyes. We're in round number 6, and Owens has been simply a marvel.
Once again, referee Marty Jenkins visited Pintor between rounds.
Pintor just nailed Owen with the right hand, and Owen comes right back to the attack.
Owen has never been off his feet, and we can understand why. Tremendously well-conditioned athlete.
Danny, if you were throwing as much leather as Pintor had hit his man as many times, that you had hit his man as many times as he had, you'd have to be a little discouraged that that guy was still there throwing punches at you.
I sure would. I'd be wondering what is holding that guy up, and I'm sure that's what Lupe Pintor is wondering, because he's hitting some awesome right hands and left hooks to the body, and he's still in there going full speed like the 1st round.
He nailed him just a moment ago while we were talking, you were talking, and we were watching with a right hand, and Owen just seems to shrug him off. Pintor's got to wonder if he's got a connecting rod between jaw and brain, because he doesn't seem to mind a thing. Minute and a half to go in round 6.
I think it's definitely got to discourage Pintor a little bit in there, hitting the guy with his best shots, and the guy's still coming at him.
Now, it must also be noted, I would think, at the risk of stating the obvious, that Owen does not have what you'd call a devastating punch, Alvin Malamed.
No, but he seems to be a sharp puncher. He's bloodied up Pintor in both eyes, and he's also giving a little bit of elbow, maybe a little bit of head in there, and he's keeping the pressure on, and those cuts certainly aren't getting any better. Rucuyo Hernandez is having a tough time stopping the flow of blood between rounds.
I tell you, Johnny Owen looks to me like the kind of guy you'd want when the fight started in the pub. You'd really have to take an awful lot of discouragement to discourage this guy.
And certainly in a pub, that would be the first guy you look at to throw a punch at. It looks like, a stiff breeze would knock him over.
Pintor with a flurry. Owens comes right back with a flurry of punches of his own. A half minute to go in the 6th round. Pintor, mouth open, mouthpiece showing. Breathing deeply.
Pintor to the body there with a left hook.
20 seconds and counting down to the close of round 6. And Johnny Owen has been doing what he's doing now, throwing leather with both hands, almost non-stop for 6 solid rounds. Back Pintor up again, 5 seconds, and the bell will bring us to the end of round number 6. Pintor with a good right hand at the bell. Owens is cut about the lip and probably inside the mouth.
We've given 4 of the first 6 rounds to Johnny Owen, who was a 4-1 underdog at ring time here tonight at the Olympic Auditorium.
We're into round number 7, scheduled for 15. Lupe Pintor, defending his WBC bantamweight championship.
Owens, although he isn't a devastating puncher, he throws a slashing blow which cuts the face very, very quickly. And I think that's what happened to Pintor's eyes, is those slashing gloves he's throwing in there.
These two fighters at long distance for the first time, I think, in this fight. Good right hand by Pintor, and all it did was just kind of turn Owens' motor on. He came right after him. Pintor again with a couple of telling blows. A right hand that caught Owens flush. Pintor having the best of it here in the early going in round 7. Owen does a cut lip. Pintor cut above both eyes. Minute 45 to go in the 7th round. Mexico, the partisan crowd scream. This title defense is drawing the attention of the press, the media, the written and spoken, and the picture-taking media from around the world.
Mickey Duff, British promoter, sitting inside here. He's waiting for Owen to come on. He wants him to keep the pressure on. Despite that reach advantage, he's better off inside.
That seems to be where he does as much damage as on the inside there.
And Pintor's best punches have been his long punches.
That's right. Strangely enough, this is the best round Pintor's had, I think, gentlemen, at long range. He's scored and kept Owens from doing any real damage, and now they're back inside, and that, strangely enough, for the man with the very long reach is where he seems to fight the best. 47 seconds remaining in round 7. Pintor in white, more pink than white now, as they are covered with blood.
How strange to have the British fighter bringing the blood upon his opponent. Usually the Britons are the ones who get cut. Henry Cooper was cut once shadow boxing.
From kosher burritos to that, Alan, you're working overtime. Pintor's right eye again. That cut above it is open. It's a good sized cut, and it shows a bright slash of red as the bell will bring us to the close of our quietest round.
I'm here to talk to
Mickey Duff is giving some advice. Mickey Duff to move in.
Wants him to get on him and swarm all over him. The him being Pintor. Set to go. Excess Vaseline wiped off by Marty Denkin. And Owen starts the festivities here in round 8, moving in on Pintor, the champion.
They say the only time Johnny Owen had trouble making weight when he was fighting a 10-year-old kid in an amateur fight, he had to put a weight under his trunk so he'd be heavy enough to fight. I guess that's literally making weight, right, Tom?
Indeed. Indeed it is. I'm very impressed with Johnny Owen, win, lose, or draw. He put on a tremendous display of ability here tonight against Lupe Pintor, who is hitting him with some solid left hands in this, the 78th round of this scheduled 15-rounder. Pintor has been bloodied and cut. He has had this tall, thin bantamweight take the play away from him, the champion in the early going. And Pintor now winning the 7th round, trying to put this fight back where the odds makers had expected it would be on his side of the ledger. The mean-looking cut over his eye.
Pintor seems to be staying out where he wants to be now and turning the whole tide of the fight around, I think. Johnny Owens isn't keeping the pressure on him like he was earlier.
Minute and a half remaining in round number 8. Pintor with the right hand to the body. He's had some outstanding body shots that he's scored on Owens, and Owens has seemed to almost ignore him. Left hands to the liver that one expects would have a thoroughly telling effect. So far they haven't done much in the way of stopping Owens. Right hands like the one a moment ago, thrown by Pintor, have hit Owens flush. But the matchstick from Mether, Wales comes right on, back on the attack. Owen, a bit of a marvel. Half a minute remaining in round number 8. And Owen again has taken the play away from Pintor now in the late going in this round, after Pintor had won most of the early portion of the round. 15 seconds remaining in round number 8. And Owen with a barrage of punches, rights and lefts as the bell brings us to the end. They have been forehead to forehead, nose to nose throughout almost all of the 8 rounds. As we get set for the 9th round, we have Owen just slightly ahead. Couple of points, right, Alan?
Yeah, I've got it 5-3 Owen at the end of 8. All the judges tonight, local officials, I think that's good. I think we've got the best officials in the world here. Often the WBC brings in some, but it's Marty Denkin, the referee.
Good right hand by Pintor. Plenty of authority behind it. But Owen shrugs it off and comes back to his attack.
Marty Denkin refereeing and Chuck Hassett and Dick Young the judges.
Lupe Pintor has a record of 41-7, and of his 41 wins, 33 have been knockouts. And yet, Danny Lopez, he has hit Owen with everything from solid lefts to crisp right hands, flush on the button, and he hasn't slowed Owen down a bit.
It's got to make Pintor wonder about, he's hit him with some awesome shots, and I think that's the only way he's gonna win. He's gonna have to land on those big blows and 1 or 2 consecutive blows and put Owen down, win the fight. If only he lets Owen keep on boxing the way he's doing and keeping the pressure on him, I think he's going to lose it.
Owen bleeding from mouth and nose. He should have a very small cut at the bridge in the nose.
Yes.
A bloody war here tonight, as they say.
No question about it. Most of the blood has been spent by Lupe Pintor. Not spilled, spent. He's lost it over both eyes. Owen bleeding from the mouth. He has a cut on the lip, bleeding inside in the mouth, and from a slight nick on the bridge of his nose. But for the amount of punches he's taken from Pintor, he shows a great resistance to cutting. He is extremely.
Somehow I get the feeling somewhere along the line Owen is going to walk into a right hand, and that's going to be it. That's just a gut feeling. I think he's winning the fight and fighting beautifully, but I just have that suspicion it's going to happen.
Interesting observation. And you might very well be true, Alan. He has walked into 2 or 3 of them a few rounds ago. And now as we are in the 9th round, and the fight becomes more debilitating for each man, more enervating to be sure. Could be that Pintor with the bigger punch might just land that 1 blow you speak of. Less than a half minute now remaining in round number 9, scheduled for 15.
Owen spurting blood from the nose now.
There's the right hand. Owen went down. 14 seconds remaining. He fights back up. The first time he's been knocked down. Marty Denkin counted. 7. Owen says he's all right. 5 seconds remain in round number 9. And Owen is in trouble. Pintor with the left. There's the bell, and Owen is in trouble.
ESPN
Can survive that knockdown as we go to the 10th round. Pintor now has got to be thinking, I'll nail him for sure. And Owen has got to be wary of that right hand.
Pintor looking for another one of those awesome right hands that he threw and hoping to land it.
He looks to be the stronger of the 2 now, Danny. Pintor does.
He sure did. That knockdown took a lot out of Owen's.
And had to do a lot for Pintor's self-confidence. Nails Owen again. Again, Owen in trouble. Owen is in trouble, but he's game and tough. 2 minutes remain in the 10th round. Johnny Owen of Wales, blood streaming from his nose, was down in the 9th round, and he's in trouble here in round 10. Lupe Pintor looking for the solid punch that'll put Owen down again. Owen on top of his man. Has fought a magnificent fight, but the superior punch of Pintor appears ready to take its toll. Minute 38 remaining in round 10.
Pintor seems to be loading up for another of those big right hands.
That's Alan Malamed, the prophet. You saw him throw it, and it just narrowly missed. Good left by Pintor underneath, uppercut. Guard Owen. You have to admire the courage and stamina of Johnny Owen. backing Pintor to the rope. Pintor threw a left that was really south of the border, but Owen said nothing. Got hit with a right hand by Pintor. Minute 7 to go in this, the 10th round. Pintor looking to really drop the bomb on him. Trying to measure Owen with that right hand. Nails him with a left.
Pintor just appears to be biding his time.
Nailed him again. Buckled Owen's knee. Owen had his knees buckled, comes back with a left right, driving Pintor back. But Pintor, the stronger of the two now, to be sure. Half a minute to go in the 10th round. Owen stays on top of the man, but Pintor with the heavier firepower. Half a minute to go. Again, the cuts over Pintor's eyes are flashes of red here. Pintor headhunting now, trying to take his man out with that one punch. 15 seconds remaining in the round. Right uppercut scores for Pintor. Owen's a bit wobbly and seems to be in trouble. But he'll not go out in this round as 4 seconds remain, and the bell will end round number 10.
Have a pencil? I'm going.
Here we go for round 11. Lupe Pintor, third title defense of his WBC bantamweight title.
Owen's jab, a good stiff one a couple rounds ago. Now there's nothing in it.
Held a knockdown, and this grueling pace seems to have taken whatever sting he had in his punches out of him. While he stays on top of Pintor. His punches really seem to lack any authority at all, while Pintor has grown in confidence.
Pintor very much the patient type, waiting for that opening for the right hand. An elbow by Owen.
And again, a warning for Marty Jenkins. Left hand underneath, thrown by Pintor, takes a left in exchange from Owen. Left jab, that is. Owen backing him up. Pintor, yes, Alan. Good observation. Seems to be just biding his time, looking for that one chance to drop that right hand. Now Pintor saying, I was butted again. Marty Jenkins saying, Lupe, you do the fighting and we'll do the refereeing.
One shot again and hoping to land it there again.
Snuck that right hand in there. Scored with it right between the gloves and the defense of Owen. Minute and a half to go in the 11th round. Left hand by Pintor. Pintor has done the most damage to Owen at long range. Not inside where you would suspect he would be at his best. Left, an uppercut off the hook. And that caught Owen right on the point of the chin. Had it been an inch longer, Danny, it might have put him down.
I think so.
Pintor, the stronger of the two, quite obviously now, here in the 11th round, controlling this fight. He has had the heavier blows. He had Owen down in the 9th round. He won the 10th. He's winning the 11th, despite a game effort by Johnny Owen, who continues to throw punches and take them. But he is not the sharp puncher he was 4 rounds ago.
Here's an example of a single punch turning around the fight completely.
Those are 8-ounce gloves that these men are throwing out there. And by now, with all the perspiration, they feel like 8 pounds of lead, don't they, Danny?
Definitely. They get heavy in these late rounds. My opinion, Pintor is really showing his experience in this fight here, in these late rounds.
5 seconds and we count down to the end of round 11. And there's the bell. We've had 11 action-packed rounds here. Yes, it has been a strange fight. The obvious has certainly not been true here tonight. Round 12 and they come out throwing leather. Right hand over the jab by Owen as he scored. Pintor scoring as well.
At the end of 8, we had Owen ahead by 2 points. Now we've got the champion ahead by 2 at the end of 11.
That's right. That knockdown gave him 2, we thought, in the 9th. And he's come on to win 2. 10-9. So here he is now in the 12th. Pintor, the champion, on top after trailing in the early going. his corner's done a great job, Alan and Danny, of stopping those cuts. They were mean-looking cuts.
Certainly testimony to Owen's condition when he was able to come back from that very, very close to a knockout comeback and fighting energetically, if not overly effectively.
2 minutes remaining in the 12th round here. It's scheduled for 15, this title defense. Owen's gone 15 before. Pintor went 15 to win the title. Went 15 in the defense against Murata in Japan to maintain the title. Minute 50 to go here in the 12th. Good left by Pintor. Another left jab scores on the jaw of Johnny Owen. Pintor picking his spots, dances away. The sharper puncher of the two now. Johnny Owen from Wales, Pintor from Mexico.
The cuts opened up again over Pintor's right eye.
They've done a real job over there, and those are nasty-looking cuts, but they've stopped the bleeding for the most part, and it's not affected the champion from Mexico. Toe-to-toe these two, and that's where Owen has done at his best. Pintor, the heavier hitter now, you can see that with the blows being thrown. Owen feeling the effect, right hand and uppercut by Pintor. Owen was down for the count of 8 in the 9th round. The only knockdown. He's down now from the right hand. 44 seconds to go here in the 12th round. That right hand nailed Johnny Owen flush on the chin. Marty Jenkins says, "Are you all right?" So Owen down for the second time in his boxing career. The only times he's ever been down, and he's in trouble now. A right hand, and down he goes. And that, I think, will do it. Yes, he'll not get up from this one. As Lupe Pintor has won this fight and successfully defended his WBC Bantamweight Championship. He's on the shoulders of his supporters who have come into the ring. Very little security here, I might add. No police to keep these strangers out of the ring. They have no business in there, of course. 25 seconds remaining in this 12th round. The knockdown scored. It'll be 2:35 of the 12th round as Pintor successfully defends his WBC Bantamweight title.
After 2 minutes, 35 seconds, referee stopping the bout, the knockout winner, still WBC Bantamweight champion, El Indio Guadalupe Pintor.
We'll be back to the Olympic in Los Angeles after this. Well, a thrilling bantamweight bout. We're sorry it ended on the note we did. Not sorry that Pintor won, to be sure, don't misunderstand us. But sorry that Johnny Owen had to leave the ring on a stretcher. That is never a pleasant thing to see. Pintor, the champion. What a great defense. His third for his championship. And he continues to reign as the WBC 118-pound champ.